Welcome to the edition of Let's Play Farming Simulator 2013 on The American Farm. Alright, so we got a couple things going on. We have a great demand going on, or coming up very shortly, for barley. Now, this was not planned at all, but there's a great demand coming up for oat and for wheat, both of which we have a little bit. So right now we're harvesting wheat at the moment, and we have 243,000 liters of oats. Not planned at all. Did not even know that was coming up. Wow, that's terrible. So we'll be rolling in money apparently. So, anyways, so we got our great demand coming up. That means we need to deal with this. Where's our Peterbilt? Did I leave him over here on the side? Yes, I did. Luckily for you guys, the rain has stopped. Let's take a quick peek at our combine. Is he clean? Yeah, so the rain cleaned up our combine, luckily, and all of our equipment, it looks like. Let's check our John Deere. Is he clean? No. Apparently the rain does not clean him off. That would make sense, but apparently it did not. Ah well, these things happen. Alright, anyways. Let's go sell some barley. So the barley is at the port. Now, the port. What is the port? Cargill, I believe, is the port. Alright. Let's get some barley. And it's probably not going to take us 4 minutes to get there, but it will take us a little bit of time to fill up. So we're going to sell some barley this episode. I was going to sell some wheat and some oats, but we're going to wait on the oats and wheat for next episode, or 4 days. That's a long time in this game. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe there'll be an episode in between them. I'm not sure yet. But canola is not coming up, so we could sell some canola too, depending on what's going down. Alright, so let's hop in our Peterbilt here. Just wait for him to fill up. Then we'll go sell some barley. Because we do have a great demand for barley on right now, or coming up very quickly, we're gonna try and get another maybe 1 or 2 solar panels up and running. We're gonna see about that momentarily. Just gonna see how much money we get first, because we will need $250,000. Oh, might as well just buy them now. Didn't realize how much money we actually have. Ah well. We'll sell this load of barley first, and then see where we're at. Which we're gonna have to wait a little bit, I guess. We have a load of a field of soybeans over there, and we're not gonna sell those for a while because the price has tanked now. Where is it? I always do that. Soybeans is at 680. Wow, not good. Alright, so we're going to Cargill, which is way off there in the distance. That's the Farmers Co-op. Cargill is the other one way over here. Of course, we should probably wait for the great demand first before we actually try and sell this. It'll be in 1 minute, and then it should light up over here. But we'll wait until the minute's up just to verify this is indeed the right place, because that would suck if we sold it at the wrong place and not get our full amount of money, I guess is what it boils down to. Alright, so... Oops. Wrong turn. Next turn. Alright, so let's just get ready here. And it's interesting, actually, sometimes when you have like a place like Cargill, for example, one of these grain elevators, you'll see like a line of trucks all getting ready to unload into an elevator like this. It's pretty crazy. And actually, some of these elevators do offer what they call a drying service. You'd have to pay more for that. There we go. Perfect. And we're at the right place. Some places do offer a drying service. So, for example, if your corn has too much moisture in it, you can drop them off here at a grain elevator and they will dry it for you. Although it does cost extra, of course. Nothing's free here. Alright, let's just check the price first. I'm kind of curious now. What are we at? 536. That's not so bad. So start off with 580 something and miss the number, so we're at 400. Let's see where we end up. 422. Not too bad. Alright, so let's get another load of barley here. And then what we'll do is, once this is filling up, we'll get a couple more solar panels. Because I believe I set the goal, or I think the original goal was 100, but that's a little unrealistic. Not without either playing a lot off camera or waiting a lot or having a really long season. That's what it boils down to. I think we're getting up into the 25 episode range right now. I don't know. I think this is... I don't have to do the math. I think it's getting close to 30 actually. It seems like on these larger maps, 30 is a better number than 20. But we'll see. I do like the map, so I don't mind playing a bit longer, as I've mentioned multiple times, I'm sure now. So, we do have that new field, and we probably should do something with the new field. So maybe what we'll do is, this episode, maybe next episode. I haven't done anything in relation to course play, and I think... can't remember. Yeah. Oops, I wanted to turn there. I guess it doesn't matter. It does have a huge drainage ditch going right through the middle of it, so if I do try to plant it, for example, with a hard worker, it won't work because of the way hard workers work, because once you have a little place that is not part of the field, they'll just stop. And that's a bit annoying when you're trying to do a whole field and not just part of the field. Alright. Perfect. Alright, let's buy one of these solar panels. We already have one. Looks like it's rotated since we dropped it. Where's another good place for it? Can I put it along here? That's kind of in the shade, so I don't want to put it in the shade. Let's put it right up here. And let's do one more. And we could do one more, actually, apparently. 47,000. So, we have 4 solar collectors, so they call them, and 5 bee houses. So we need one more solar collector, apparently. And then we'll be right on the money. So let's just see what the finances are like. Construction, 500,000 we've spent. So that is, today is the same day. So today we've made 700 and we spent 500. So did we break even still? No, apparently we didn't. Oh well. Alright, so let's go sell some more barley. Let's put the tarp on here. There we go. And let's go sell some more. So, yeah, so I was saying they do have grain elevators that have dryers. In some farms, actually, if you look, I'll show you on the way back, but actually this farm, the way they built the silos, they actually do have grain dryers on them, or blowers, to try and keep the moisture out of them in some cases. Interestingly enough, I mentioned in the last episode about Cropline, the podcast with Wheat Pete, or Peter Johnson, I believe his name is. Anyways, he was saying if you have high moisture in your, I think it was corn, I want to say, if it's a high moisture corn, you can actually, in Canada, you can let it just freeze basically, and it's fine as long as it's frozen. But apparently, once it gets to a certain point where there's, where it's not frozen or there's not enough moisture, it could be really bad. So it's a question of timing, I suppose, to a certain extent. So it's making sure your corn has enough moisture to freeze, but then once it's not below freezing, basically, then you have to take other precautions, I guess. So he didn't go into a lot of detail about that specifically in the podcast, but it was pretty interesting to know that you can in fact do that. So I remember when we were harvesting canola 2013 summer, and after it was harvested, you would test the moisture of the canola like every so often, just to make sure it's still good, because where they were selling the canola on that, well, where my in-laws are located, they had to make sure it was between a specific moisture, or else the elevator wouldn't take it at all. They would basically send you back, because well, which adds a little interesting feature because where they're from. So let's say it's north of Toronto. If you're familiar with Ontario at all. So let's say it's the city where you sell it is about 500 kilometers south of where it was grown. And if you had to drive there with a truck with a full load of canola, and then once you get to the grain elevator, they said nope, it has too much moisture in it, turn around basically. If that is the case, then they will not take your canola, you don't get paid, and everybody returns grumpy basically. So doesn't always happen, but it depends on the grain elevator and depends on whether you know the people or not sometimes, stuff like that. Oh my goodness, we're back up to 64 pigs. I sold the pigs before last episode, again, and we're back up to 64 pigs already. Jeez. They are machines, that's for sure. I almost feel like I should have gotten the other trailer that sells 200 pigs at once. Definitely have been worth it though in this map. 100 pigs, because you don't have to buy them initially, you just give them stuff, like for example the silage. I think they consider grass as silage, but like things like water, for example, was free. Straw was a byproduct of our oats, barley, and wheat. We haven't given them any wheat or barley. We haven't given them any sugar beets, so considering all of that, they've been pretty cheap, which is pretty good. Alright, I was going to show you the blowers on these silos. So if you look right here, that is an example of a blower, if I remember correctly. I'm not an expert. Don't if you do know what you're talking about more than I do, please let me know. But to the best of my knowledge, it's a blower. Basically just circulates air inside the silo. Because basically what happens, if you put, like, let's say corn or something in there and it gets too hot, that's bad. So by using a blower like that, it circulates the air, maintaining a decent temperature. That's what I know about it, at least. If you do know more, by all means leave a comment, let me know about that. I know for potato rooms, it's like they need a potato room or place where you store potatoes, whatever you want to call it. They have to have a I did it again, shoot. Gotta remember to open up the tarp. Potato rooms do need to maintain a certain not moisture level. They need to maintain a certain temperature basically, and if you don't maintain that temperature of the potatoes, then it could rot really easily. So same thing with any crop basically. If you don't store it properly, it won't last very long. And think of it this way: if you have like a loaf of bread, for example, and you leave the loaf of bread in a plastic bag out in the sun for a couple days, probably if you look at that loaf of bread and smell it, it probably won't smell too fresh anymore. So probably because of the humidity that develops inside the bag and stuff like that. So it's basically what you're doing with a silo. It's like an encased, well, not necessarily encased, but it is like a closed environment for in most cases, where it develops a whole bunch of, some cases gas, or some cases heat. So crazy enough, actually, some hay bales can be really, really hot, and you can some places, if you're not careful, your hay bales can spontaneously combust, kind of. I guess that's what it boils down to. And I've heard a story of this. I heard a story where a farmer stored hay that had, I think it might have been too much moisture, I can't remember exactly. Anyway, so the person stored hay in their barn basically, and what happened was it got too hot and it caught on fire. And if you're looking at a wood barn of some sort and it catches on fire with hay inside, yeah, not good. Not good at all. That's a situation where you get everyone that you know around you to come help you out, basically, to try and deal with the situation. Or call the fire department, you know, whichever works. So in some cases, what people will do is they'll tear apart all the hay in order to preserve some of it, I suppose. Or just douse it with water and hope to God it doesn't the fire doesn't spread around your farm, basically. So, but that kind of stuff does happen. It's all part of farming. It's not all fun and games and all that. So, it's definitely an aspect. All right. How much barley do we have left? I haven't checked. Ooh, that was a bit of a bad turn. Jeez. 16,000 liters of barley. Might as well sell it. Don't really need it for anything else at this particular time. I'm not going to give it to our pigs. Our pigs won't give us that much money in the long run. As far as I can tell, the more productive your pigs are, basically means the more pigs you'll produce. That's it. And seeing as they produce quite quickly already at 31%, I'm not really worried about that. And keeping pigs at 100% is difficult because they just keep multiplying like crazy. So trying to keep them happy by keeping them at 100% is difficult. I tried on a different map in a single player game. Didn't work out so well. Not gonna lie to you here. Alright, let's get this last 16,000 liters of barley. It shouldn't take very long. I'm just gonna grab a sip of water while this is doing that. Alright, almost 16,000 liters. Boom. Put that tarp back on there. I think in reality what would probably happen is you wouldn't, like let's say you hired a custom job or someone to do the trucking for you. They would probably combine the barley you had with somebody else's, which happens every now and then. I wouldn't say it happens in every case, but if you don't have enough, you're not going to, you don't have anywhere to store the barley or any other crop for that matter. You're not going to just not use it or not sell it. So, and in a lot of cases, taking like this is only 20% full. Like hiring a truck to take only 20%. That's only 20% full to a grain elevator is probably pretty expensive, I imagine. I don't know how much something like this would cost, but I imagine it's not cheap. Let's take this way around this time. Mix it up a little bit. There we go. Excellent. $123,000 again. This is good. This is very good. That will give us this. It might not. We'll see. It may or may not give us enough money to buy another solar panel. We'll see. It should. I don't know why it wouldn't, but I haven't been doing the math. I haven't been keeping track of how much it actually is. All I know is that we're making money. That's about as far as I know. All right. 132,000. This is good. I think what we're going to do is we're going to sell a load of canola. Only one load because we don't need to go too overkill here. We're just going to make sure we have some extra cash, basically. Just in case, you never know what's going to happen. Because it actually does, with the new seeder that we have, the Case Precision Air Seeder and cart, it actually does take quite a bit of, over time it takes quite a bit to fill that sucker up multiple times. Not nearly as bad as it was when we had the more realistic mod installed, but still very, very expensive. Alright, do one load of canola and see where we're at. See whether we need to get something else. We'll see. We shall see. This is what I'm thinking. I forget who mentioned it, but someone suggested I get an overloader for Field 23 now that we own it. I think they actually suggested Field 21, but that's out of the way and I don't want to do that. So maybe 23, which was one of the original choices. Anyways. So that's the idea, and our silos are right here basically, so it's quite a long trip to do. So I'm considering setting up Courseplay with overloaders. Thinking about it, not sure yet. Maybe we'll try it once without an overloader, then maybe once with, and we'll see how it works together. If the combine can stay on top of it without getting without getting full. Maybe we won't do an overloader, but I think that's kind of a far distance to travel with a single grain cart, so we shall see. Alright, canola. Where's canola? It's right here. Alright, so open up the tarp. There we go. Get a load of canola. What's the price at? Price of canola at the port, $6.19. $6.73 at the inn. Perfect. Let's take a trip to the inn, which is on the other side of the map, strangely enough. Well, it's not strange. It's always been there. I just don't go to the inn very often. I don't have to, basically. Just one of those things. Oh, man. So, should we buy? No, I think we'll wait. I think we'll sell this load of canola, and then maybe we'll buy another solar panel to even out our 5. We'll just buy it right now. What difference does it make? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put the 5th one right here. Perfect. So we're down to 7 grand. But with a constant cash inflow of the solar panels and the bee houses, we should be okay. Because that does keep us going positive. So that is... let me just think about this. Is that the last goal we had to achieve? I think it was, because we had to get 4 fields. We've done that. 5 solar panels. Done that. 5 bee houses. Done that. We've tried to not tab when possible. Done that. We haven't used the mixing station. Was there anything else? I don't think so, actually. I think that was everything. Just trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything. I don't think there was anything else that we had to do. No. A little bit of baling, we did that. Animals, we've done that so far. The only animal we haven't done is sheep, basically, but no one suggested sheep, so I'm fine with that. I'm not going to do sheep now. It's a little late in the game. Maybe for next season. We'll see. So, I don't know. I still haven't chosen a map yet, so for the next season, so I'll have to think about what map it will be. As I mentioned a couple times already, thinking about doing one big map, one small map at the same time. Small map being short episodes, big map being longer episodes. That is the consideration at the moment, at least. No decisions have been made on that yet, but that's what I'm considering. I'm going to be able to make this turn without... Yes, perfect. Alright. So we're at 7 grand. Let's see where we get up to here. Oh, look at that. Nice. Up, going to be up just past 50. Perfect. That gives us lots of extra cash. Oh, look at that. I don't know if you noticed this before, but there's a little park bench right here. I wonder if you can sit down on it. Does it say anything? No, you just can stand on it. Oh, I never noticed that before. I don't know if you can see the water. It's rippling there. I guess that's what it's supposed to be doing. Oh, that looks pretty cool. Anyways. So, that is another load of canola. So I think that's the only... we don't need to sell any more canola. Basically what we needed is a little bit of extra money to fill up our cedar when it is doing that, because it does take quite a bit of money to keep that full. And now that we have $50,000, we should be good. Not 100%, but I'm pretty sure we'll be okay with 50 grand. If we do need extra cash, I can always go ahead and sell another load of canola off camera. But I'm pretty sure we'll be alright. I'm pretty sure. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but just the way it goes. Oh, our pig's out of water? Did not see that. Should probably take care of that. Water is free. I'm more than happy to give pigs water because it is free. Let's return our truck. It does look like a cool truck, I have to admit. There's actually a heavy haul version of this same truck where it has a a third axle in the back there. So instead of having a dual axle, it's got a tri-axle, I guess you'd call it. And it helps support heavier loads, I guess. That's what it really boils down to. I thought about getting that one, but I just don't like the way it drives, basically. Otherwise, it's fairly good. Alright. I think we will need to get an overloader for that over there. For that other field, just because it is kind of out of the way. Alright, let's park our truck up in the shed. Let's put the tarp back on, keep anything out of the tipper. Because birds are common in sheds like this, and if you leave a top out like that, or open, you may find some unwanted presence on the inside. From either birds or squirrels or something, basically. So they'll find a way if they really want inside, but at least you can kind of discourage them a little bit by closing the tarp, I guess. I'm pretty sure they'd still, if they really wanted to get in, they would get in. Especially if you don't clean it out properly. Like if you didn't clean out your tipper, or your grain wagon, I guess you might call it. I'm not sure. If you didn't clean it properly, I'm pretty sure animals would find their way inside there and be like, "Hey, what's in there? I hear you might have a little bit of corn in there," and then they might decide to go in and tear your tarp apart. Hopefully not, but it is possible. All right, let's deal with with our water here situation. There we go. Oh, that's cool. I never noticed that before. Has a little jack there on the side, right there. Alright, got a full tank of water. This is good. We're on the wrong side, though. So let's take a little bit of a U-ey around our pig barn here. And then we'll give them some water. It's interesting. This tractor right here will get really bogged down when you put something heavy on the back of it, which is how a tractor would react a bit more. Like, it's not all instant power all the time, like most farming simulator mods are. But this one seems to respond a bit differently. So when you put a load like this in the back, it will bog the tractor down a little bit and require a bit more power. And actually, speaking of this particular trailer, I noticed that there was a more realistic mod available of this particular trailer if you wanted. I haven't downloaded it or anything like that. I believe it was on LS 2013, I think it was. So if you're interested, you can go there and check it out if you really want it. Oh, taking all that water, jeez. Alright, so... Oops, did not mean to do this. Alright. What we're going to do is going to fill this tractor up, because apparently he's low on fuel. It's a bit light in the front, looks like, too. It's getting the job done, looks like, still. Even despite the fact that he's a little light in the front. I could buy a weight, but I don't think it's necessary. As long as he's not coming completely off the ground, I think I'll be okay with a little light in the front end. Alright, so let's fill them up. And as we're over here, we'll fill up the tank as well. It's always good to leave a little bit of water, so for next time, it makes your life a bit easier. Perfect, let's shut them off for the time being. Check on our combine, which has the wrong reel on it. Keep doing that by accident for some reason. I don't know, I think it's when I hit tab or something. I'm not sure. But every time I tab away from this particular combine, I seem to add the different reel to it. So, and of course by reel I mean this thing right here, if you're not familiar with what I'm talking about. Because this is what it normally looks like, and then this is the other one you can use. On this particular mod at least. Alright. He's doing well. He is full. Excellent. Let's fill him up with water as well. And I think our cows are... Ooh, cows are a little low too, actually. let's go give our cows some water as well. Because we want our cows to be 100% efficient. Because I don't want to say they're our bread and butter. Not by any means. Not on this map, at least. If I was playing on a smaller map, they definitely would be our bread and butter, but not on this one. Because our fields are enormous. And we don't need to worry about the cows too much. Alright, is that enough? No. A little bit more. A little bit more. A little bit more. In reality, what you would do is you would hook up a pump or something. And you put the pump end in the water and attach the other end to your trailer. You would not do what I'm doing right here. Because this is just silly. And think of it this way. If there were sand, let's say, if there were mud around this pond, and you were trying to do this with a tractor and a trailer, especially a trailer of that size, you would definitely run into problems. It looks like the water's going down, kind of. I doubt it is, but it just looks like it is. Alright, I think you're full. Almost. I think it's just the way the water's moving. There we go. Perfect. And what we'll do is we'll just drive through here. I'm pretty sure they can't accept water in here, but this is a bit quicker. I'm going around, not by much of course, but yes, I know water's not accepted here. Come on now. Let's give them some water. I think this is the other trough over here. Little funny piece of information I learned from work a while back. So, just line them up here first. So in France, in French, they use a word called abreuvoir, which is like a water fountain type situation. The funny thing is, it's also the same word they would use for a trough of water. So if you said abreuvoir, and you're talking to somebody in Quebec where they also speak French, they may think you're a little strange because they're trying to figure out why you're saying a water trough and not like a water fountain. A little tidbit of information for you. I taught a guy from France once, and I found that out from him. He was saying, yeah, when he first came to Canada, he said what he would call a fountain for water, basically, and people were kind of confused as to what he was talking about because they thought he was talking about a water trough for like animals and stuff like that. It was funny when I first heard that. I had a good laugh. Anyways, alright, let's top this off once again. A little bit more. There we go. So, what I'll think I will do is I'll stop the episode there for now, ladies and gentlemen, while I fill up the rest of that tank. And let's take a quick peek at the PDA. So, oats starts in 3 days, and wheat starts in 4 days. So I think what I will do is I will come back when there's a great demand for wheat, which is in 3 days. So I'll probably do a harvest or two off camera, maybe one harvest. Probably it's all we'll get in. And then at that time, after that harvest, we'll come back probably for when there's a great demand on oats. And then we'll capitalize on that and go sell a crazy amount of oats. Probably. I don't like that fence. I need to start driving straight out of it instead of turning all the time. Every time I turn, I always get caught up in the fence, but when I go straight out, no problem. Not at all. Alright. Yes, so we have $50,000. Yeah, we'll come back for the next episode, and that'll be probably selling oats while they're on great demand as well. We might do a couple other things. We'll see. I'm going to have to go double check the goals to make sure that we did achieve our goals that we set in, well, yeah, I guess the goals that we set in the first episode or so. And then we'll go from there. Anyways, I shall stop the episode for now. My name's Ian Robson. This has been Farming Simulator 2013. And we're playing on the American farm. I'll catch you guys later.